Hi, can you even see the board? Just about. Hi. Wait there. Yep, you can hear me. You can hear me, so I'm sorry I went off and then I'm back on again. Um, we're getting new furniture, so the chair's gone. And I was just like, why wasn't I told? But it's okay because I just need to be prepared to let go of the old and accept the new. So I'm working on that. I'm change sometimes is a bit difficult for me. It's a little bit difficult. But for the sake of like me wanting this to be in the same video, I'm very chilled right now. I'm very chilled. But I did mention this in the other half, so I'm going to mention it again just so it's in the same video because I'm most likely going to delete that other little bit of a live because it was I was interrupted. But anyway, so I've made a calendar, a transit calendar, and you can follow along with the app, and it has all the transits basically. It's not put together because it's just laminated, but it has all the transits throughout the year of 2023. So and the symbols at the back for you to learn from. So this will be available soon. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. If you would like this, whoever's watching this video at any time, just like it to let me know if you're interested. That would really help. That would help a lot. So yeah, I got up to this first transit in my other video, but this is the fortune one. I haven't really mentioned this before, but it came to my attention and I was like, you know what, let me talk about it. So the Fortuna is called Fortuna on the app, but the Fortuna, in essence, it's where if you direct your energy in that way, it will be fortunate for you. Yeah, it will be fortunate for you basically. So that was in Virgo, and it's transiting because it's transiting in 2 days, I think, or tomorrow, the 25th. That's tomorrow, isn't it? It's transiting into Libra on the 25th. Now, it was in Virgo, so in essence, you would have been, it would have been really beneficial if you were analytical over the past few weeks, basically, while it was in Virgo, or months. Just analytical, analyzing things, going over it, making sure the finer details of stuff that would come to your fortune if that was done, basically. But now it's moving into Libra. So I see Libra as the airhead, the you envision it in your head and then you bring it down into the plane of existence, basically into your reality. So that's how I see Libra. It's also, it's ruled by Venus, so there's the whole love and relationships and balance in relationships as well. So in essence, what I'm saying is you'd be fortunate. It will be beneficial for you basically to create your what's in your head and bring it out into reality. One being the Libra and taking all them big ideas, the airhead ideas, and making it material. And also relationships, so getting that balance within relationships as well, and of course knowing your own fortune sign because you'll do it through that lens. So mine is Virgo. Mine is Virgo and it's going into Libra. So I was like extra analytical, like, because yeah, it's my sign, isn't it? So it's like going into Libra now. It would be a case of, I don't know, I'm more analytical, looking, getting and creating my reality, and bringing balance to my relationships, and creating my relationships how I see it in my head, creating that into reality too. So that's this week. But then next week now, the fun begins. Where's this pen? Oh, so next week, I think this is kind of better like this, isn't it? Low on the floor. And I thought about doing this before, but I didn't. Oh, this will be time stamped. I always forget to say that at the beginning. So the sun on the 30th moves into, oh, my fave, Ophichus. Can you see that? You really cannot see that at all. Hey, that's Ophichus anyway, on my throat. So the sun is moving into Ophichus. Do I need some water? Do I? I don't know. Bear in mind the transits down here. This is just where the position, the planetaries are, the luminaries. This is where they will be on the 25th, on the 27th of November. See my throat. I need some water. I need to just stop talking and have some water because I'm not making any sense right now. Okay. So yeah, they're all the same as last week. Remember, Mars is retrograde. That's the most important. And I didn't know, but apparently Jupiter is stood still right now, which is interesting. Especially because going through the Scorpio, it's like the whole death. So it's like this pause before walking anew, before Jupiter begins to go completely direct and expand. So yeah, that's interesting. But the sun on the 30th moves into Ophichus. Some people pronounce it Ophichus, but I don't know. I see Ophichus. I like saying Ophichus anyway. So sun goes into Ophichus. So this is powerful, I see, because Mercury and Venus are in Ophichus. So you've got your how your material, basically Venus, how you have pleasure in this world, your money, the material basically, and Mercury, your communication style, all being in Ophichus, as well as your sun, the soul, the ego, the what you operate through basically is all in Ophichus. It's in the transmutation period, the healer basically. Ophichus is like the healer. Yeah, it's like the healer. So it's just extra. I just see it as extra healing, extra transmutation. Like, in essence, it's the energies what you no longer resonate with. I'm putting it into practicality now, into the everyday, coming out of just vague sentences, but into the everyday. It's recognizing the energy you no longer resonate with and really taking that step to come out of your comfort zone, most likely for most people, and do what it takes, in essence, do what it takes. You're just taking that energy and you're turning it around to then become a magnet, in essence. Um, yeah, you're just doing what it takes now, and you're okay with that. Basically, you're transmuting that energy. It's no longer, oh, I can't because, or something's blocking me. You're now finding ways to do it and pushing through, in essence, because you're healing, you're recognizing new aspects of yourself. So, yeah, in essence, your communication style, how you deal with money, are and how you literally, the way you operate through the ego is what attracts opportunities to you. So your ego will be just kind of automatically attracting certain things to you during this period of when Ophichus is in here. I believe it's about just over 2 weeks it's in Ophichus for. So pay attention. I always say this, but pay attention to what comes up, like opportunities that may come up during this period, because in essence you'd be attracting higher opportunities to you. Your communication style will be about high opportunities, and yeah, it would just be about high opportunities. And listen to this. Do you want to know why I see this is powerful? Actually being aware of the luminary alignments, the stars, because my son, obviously he's unaware of this. He goes off his natural cycle of him. He goes off his natural cycle of him. His Mercury is in Ophichus. And when I tell you, the moment Mercury went into Ophichus last week, he has been talking a lot about, I'm going to say a new home. Because, of course, we're all out here manifesting stuff. But he was saying it a lot and talking about it a lot. And I was just like, wow. Interestingly enough, his Mercury is in Ophichus. Mercury has entered Ophichus along with Virgo. Oh, no, not Virgo, along with Venus. And then, obviously, now on the 30th, the sun is going to enter Ophichus. So I'm curious to see what comes up. I feel I'm at a point where it's just like, okay, that's what it's meant to be. What's going to come up? How will I naturally feel? What is the energy I'm naturally going in? So, yeah, in essence, how long is this? Oh, 13 minutes. In essence, I'm seeing it's just heavy Ophichus, because all of these are still in Ophichus. Saturn is in Capricorn, setting the solid foundation. So your communication style, your pleasures, about money, it being in Mercury and Venus, being in Ophichus, and how you operate, essentially, so long say the discipline is there, Saturn is there to help implement the discipline, to set the solid foundations in stepping up, basically taking that energy of you no longer doing what you truly desire and transmuting it and becoming more of you, basically. So Saturn's there to do that. Mars is retrograded, so it's slowing down to allow you time to transmute this and to absorb it all before it goes direct in January, and it's in action then, like full on in action. So it's giving you time now. It's giving you time. Of course, Pluto is in Sag. Pluto is in Sag. So it's giving you what you desire, basically. Pluto is about giving you what you desire through death and rebirth. That's its only mission, to give you what you want. And it will do it by attracting experiences for you to grow in, for you to then attract that intended reality to you, basically. So that being in Sagittarius, again, it's like a higher, it's a different direction, isn't it? So yeah, Pluto's there, is ready to take you, it supports all of this. That is ready to take you into that different direction. With all of these, is transmuting you to give you that energy to become that version of you, to experience that reality, because that's what it's about. It's like we see ourselves as where we'd like to be, then we need to become that. We need to be it to then experience that. And it's going through all of these that allows us to become it, to then experience it. So in essence, this is the becoming. This is the becoming before we enter Sag, to then take us there. Yeah. So it's exciting. It's exciting. So in the moon transits now, so we go, I'll just write all of them and then we'll go through the story. So on the 28th, we're in Capricorn. 29th, we move into Aquarius. And then on the 2nd, we touch base with, I don't know how to draw this, Cetus. Cetus, there's that Cetus. Don't mind that beeping, it's the washing machine. I should have done this live from, hey, you're back. Obviously, I should have done this live from before, so the washing machine should have been finished, but it's just going off. So, these are the moon transits. So, the moon, I see the moon as the mover of emotions, the mover of energy. The moon rules our intuition, our emotions, essentially. So it moves them, it gets the energy moving. What mood are you in? Oh, I'm happy, I'm sad. The moon controls, well, not say controls, but influences all of that. So I see now, with all of this Ophichus energy that's going on and Libra energy, how the energy will move through this week. So on the 28th, the moon being in Capricorn, I'm seeing it was a no moon and it's becoming a full moon, isn't it? Is it waning? It's waning, I think. It's the one becoming a full moon. It's coming, leading up to a full moon. So things will become more clear. So your intuition will become more clear, and it will become more clear in terms of where to direct the energy, where the energy will move and go. So on the 28th, pay attention, because what will come up with this whole transmutation energy of Venus and Mercury already being in Ophichus, pay attention to what comes up on the 28th, because ideally things will come up to set a solid foundation. Have they? Oh, wow. Yeah, things will come up to set a solid foundation. Things will become more clear, like, oh, okay. In terms of after transmutating this energy to step up to the next level. On the 29th, the moon flowing through Aquarius. So pay attention to any new ideas, basically. Things will become, again, more clearer in terms of, oh, I could do it like this, like a breakthrough, because Aquarius is ruler of like the 11th house, and it's very is that social or work? I can't even remember. But it's very initiative. I can't say the word, but thinks of many unique ideas, entrepreneurship, and stuff like that. So think of that. On the second now, Cetus. This is the interesting one. So Cetus is just below the head. Cetus's tail is just below Pisces, and not all, but some luminaries just dip into Cetus's tail, and then they pop back up into Pisces. So for those who don't know, I will be doing like many videos kind of explaining each of these individually. So there will be more and more in-depth one. But Cetus essentially is a sea monster, and he was a sea monster in Atlantis. And is it Poseidon? Poseidon basically sent Cetus to go and kill the daughter of, I can't remember his name, but he was an Ethiopian king, because he was upset that the Ethiopian king says his daughter is the most beautiful, is the most prettiest in the land. Poseidon wasn't happy about that, so he sent the sea monster to go and kill the girl. But if he failed, like he died basically, Cetus died. So I see Cetus as a death, and I find it interesting because, like, when I say a death, like a shedding or a proper transformation. So kind of like Scorpio. Scorpio is a death too, but I see like a death because it's water, just like Pisces. And Pisces essentially being the 14th, not the 14th. Pisces is actually the 13th zodiac, because Ophichus is the 9th zodiac, because they miss it. Like Ophichus isn't the 13th one, it's after Sag, so it pushes the rest back, and Pisces is the 13th. But anyway, because Pisces is like the fish and it's water, it's like the fish, and they circle each other like the koi fish. So it's masculine and feminine energy basically. And because it's essentially the closest to source, because it's the last zodiac, and because it's water, I see it as reflection. So in essence, the whole zodiac sequence is, you can look at it like a manifestation cycle, and at the end of each level up, so to say, you get this Cetus death, this dip into water, and then you come back out, and then you then experience the reflection that you have projected out, essentially. Like, that's my point of view, because pay attention to how many movies we've seen when they go through water, and that's like the transformation, but they always go down, don't they? Yeah, so that's something that come to me today, and I was like, oh wow, that kind of makes sense. So not all, the moon doesn't pass through Cetus on every round. It does, sometimes it misses it, like it's literally a dip. So it depends if the moon dips or doesn't. The only planet that doesn't pass through Cetus is the sun. Every other luminary passes through Cetus. So it's quite interesting that it's not noticed in mainstream astrology because they all pass through it. But anyway, so yeah, so I'm seeing a deep transformation to put it into words. I'm seeing a deep transformation in terms of where your emotions are leading you to, the energy, where it's directing you to. Yeah. That's what I'm seeing. And I kind of like to, I'm kind of working on like the order on how I do this. And I kind of feel because this is quite ahead of time, like it starts on Sunday and the week's not really finished yet. So I'm kind of thinking at the end of the videos to just bring it back to today and where the placements are for today to end. Yeah, to just bring it back to now. So just the moon really, because that's the main one that moves. Um, and I guess Fortuna. Fortuna is gonna be in Libra. No, Fortuna is gonna be in Virgo, and pay attention to that. Pay attention to that. I think you missed it because it was at the beginning, but Fortuna, it's basically where we're most fortunate in, and it was in Virgo. So right now it's in Virgo, so it's still gonna be, you know, good to still analyze, but we're phasing into the creating your reality and bringing it out and creating balance within relationships. And that's also a relationship with yourself, the relationship with your daily life. Like, what is it? We will be getting into transmuting that energy now through Ophichus and actually having it how we'd like, because I know I need to work on my routines of stuff. Like, I'm doing so many things, like I'm homeschooling as well, and it's just like I've been a bit busy, so it's like I need to get back into just eating a bit better, moving my body. I need to move my body again, so it's using that energy, transmuting to get that back. Yeah, for me anyway, for me. So the moon anyway, right now it's in Scorpio still. So it was a new moon, no moon, new moon, no moon, and it was in Scorpio. So again, we're still our emotions, not so much our intuition now, it's more logic, because the moon, its influence isn't there. It's still a no moon basically, so it's more logical, our whole shedding of our old, like Scorpio, and being presented as new basically. And yeah, Scorpio, it's not in the sun for long. Yeah, I need to eat better. I really do. I fell on the bandwagon of eating so much chocolate. So much chocolate. But yeah, I'm homeschooling. I'm just like, I really feel like a multi-dimensional being. That's what I feel. But it's like every phase of my life, I'm just like, how did I do that? But I just do it, and you just get on with it, I guess. And yeah, it's transmuting. It's transmuting. So yes, I'm excited again about the calendar. I'm really excited about this. It will be available soon. And yes, let's transmute these energies. Let's just be, I guess. Just see how you naturally feel. I always say, when it comes to this, I notice I just naturally feel inclined to do it. Just like my son, he was just naturally inclined to start talking about literally a new life. He was talking about a new life the moment Ophichus, no, Mercury entered Ophichus, and his Mercury is Ophichus, and he's just talking, just like, like literally manifesting, like speaking it into existence. And every day before we start our homeschool, he's just like, okay, mommy, let's talk. And he's just like, let's talk. And he talks about our new life, like literally. It's just like, oh, and he brings it up, and it only started when Mercury entered Ophichus. So that's why I'm like, just pay attention, most importantly, to how you naturally feel. And yeah, because it's like children, they're in tune. So yes, with that being said, Next week, I actually haven't. Up until now, I had about 5 weeks planned, and I've reached the last week, December. So I need to get the rest of the weeks planned, and then after that, I wouldn't need to because I'll be using the calendar. So yeah, I just need to do that, and yeah, put the timestamps on, so it will be timestamped if anyone wants to come back, and if you want to come back and listen to any information, it will be time stamped. And yes, I'll see you in the next live. What's happening next week, I don't know. It will be heavy Ophichus energy anyway, so let's just observe how we're transmutating stuff. So I'll see you next week. Bye.